Growing up, I was a sucker for Toys to Life games. Need proof? I played Rumble U. But there's one series that was never really able to capture me, and that's Disney Infinity, which is extremely weird because it mixes so many franchises that I'm still a fan of to this day. So now that the series has been over for years and I can get the entire series for like $8 in Monopoly money, I've decided that today I'm going to take a look back at the series as a whole. Disney Infinity 1.0 launched on August 18, 2013. The game was Disney's answer to the Skylanders series over at Activision, which had been a huge success. The game would allow people to play as their favorite Disney and Pixar characters by using their toy counterparts in campaigns known as playsets. And by favorite Disney characters, I'm of course referring to Holly Shiftwell and the Lone Ranger. That's the thing about Disney Infinity. Despite what you would imagine based on the name, Disney Infinity does not do a great job of representing Disney as a whole, but more so just represents the most recent movies at the time. Really, Disney takes a backseat to the Pixar characters, at least for the first game. Now just like Skylanders, Disney Infinity released in a starter pack that included a game, a portal, 3 Disney Infinity figures, a playset piece, and a power disc. These figures are pretty high quality considering this is their first game, but also still a little underwhelming considering Skylanders was already on the Swap Force gimmick at this point. Along with the starter pack, you can also buy additional characters as individuals or 3 packs. Some characters would even come in packs with additional playsets. More power discs could also be purchased in blind bag form. The original Disney Infinity also had a set of crystal figures. These figures were exclusive to Toys R Us. The biggest complaint I and many others had when it came to Disney Infinity was within the gameplay itself. Disney Infinity doesn't really work well as a crossover game due to the fact that in the playset modes, each character is only playable in their own world. Meaning, for example, I can't use Syndrome in the Monsters University levels. This also creates a problem since the starter pack doesn't come with any 2 characters from the same movie, so that means, in order to play co-op, you must buy at least 1 additional figure. Because of this, most people, including myself, mainly just use this game in order to play the Toy Box mode, a mode based on the mode with the same name from Toy Story 3, the video game, which basically gives you a sandbox to create whatever you want. While Disney Infinity 1.0 is far from a perfect game, I think it was clear this series had a lot of potential, which is why it's so weird that they did this. Now, I'm a huge Marvel fan. I grew up reading the Fantastic Four as well as watching it, and I can practically quote any MCU movie. With all of that information given, I've still got to say Disney Infinity 2.0 kinda sucks. All the complaints with the first game are still present here, which honestly makes less sense this time around. Like there's no reason at all why Spider-Man shouldn't be allowed to play with the Avengers or Thor play with the Guardians. The game did introduce some new non-Marvel characters, which are all fine, but pretty useless considering none of them have their own playsets, so they're really only playable in the toy box. As far as starter packs go, this game does have some fairly interesting ones. It has a really ugly collector's edition, like why is this thing included? A toy box edition, which as much as I like Marvel is probably still the best way to get this game, or the PS Vita pack. If I were to describe Disney Infinity 2.0, I would have to use the term wasted potential. Marvel is such a fun IP and it feels like they played it way too safe with this game while also not fixing any of the problems from the first game. Like even without X-Men or Fantastic Four, they could still have created figures for characters like the Sinister Six and the Defenders and allow for characters to be used in any playset including non-Marvel characters. But we've still got one more chance to get it right. 3.0 is probably the best of the 3 Disney Infinity games. You can finally cross over characters to other playsets, which is fun, but by this point it was way overdue. The third game also puts a huge focus on Star Wars, which it is always fun to recreate your favorite Star Wars scenes in the toy box mode.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
The figures in this game look incredible and are a huge step up from the original. I think the biggest downfall for this game was just the timing. By the time this game came out, the Toys to Life genre was clearly already on its way out, and in 2016, Disney Infinity was officially cancelled. Now for the rabbit hole I fell down that eventually led to this video. Even though we never got official Disney Infinity 4.0, a lot of plans for the games are actually available to the public online. For starters, the game was going to drop the 4.0 title and replace it with a new subtitle known as Kingdoms. The game would have had a story mode that featured a ton of characters from all different Disney properties. I actually think this sounds like it could be a lot of fun and had the potential to be the best in the series.